I purchased If You Keep Digging just before I went on a business trip to Nairobi. I like the fact that it was made up of a series of 12 short stories because my attention span when I travel is not great. So I was looking forward to some engaging and stimulating reading. I got much more than I bargained for. This book straddles the lives of individuals, families, and communities in contemporary South Africa and Zimbabwe. The stories are intertwined as the history and people of Southern Africa are. And they move from the urban and gritty setting of Hillbrow to impoverished rural Zimbabwe to racy township life in urban South Africa. Why I say I got much more than I bargained for is because the stories are deeply traumatic. They look at the underbelly of society: prostitution, poverty, racism, domestic violence, sexual abuse, teen pregnancy, suicide, fatherlessness, broken families, failed relationships. If you want a happy read, this is not a book for you. If you are ever looking to have a glimpse and experience of the lives of those on the margins, their suffering, the characters and plots behind the dark side of the multiple facets of communities in South Africa and Zimbabwe, go ahead. You'll be grateful for the life you have right now. Most normal people wouldn't want to read about the tragic stuff Keletso Mopai writes about. It's dark, depressing stuff, and we all think we already have enough problems. But her craftsmanship with words, her sorcery, her juju, they lure you in. I remember watching a video of a woman who's medically dead after a car accident, but she was resuscitated by the paramedics. When they interviewed her months later and speaking about her own death and what she experienced, she described dying as very appealing, very comforting. She said death lures you in, and the only reason she came back was her thoughts of her 2 children. That's the writing style of Keletso Mopai. She lures you in, darkly but comfortingly, or so you think, until there's a twist in each tale that just breaks your heart. These stories are beautifully crafted. They're edgy, they're poignant, they're gritty, but there's a dark side to them. And after you've read the first one, you're no longer at ease. You're almost defensive because you're fearful how she'll break your heart again. This is a fabulous book, but I wouldn't want to read another like it soon. I can only take in so much darkness. So the style of writing and the expansive spaces the book covers doesn't really make it amenable to a favorite passage or quote from the author. So ironically, I'm going to share 2 quotations that preface the book, and in my view, they capture the essence of each of these stories. The first of these is this: nothing is more perilous than truth in a world that lies. And the second quote that echoes the hopelessness in so many of these stories is, anger has a long history of bringing about positive change. Sometimes, when all hope is gone, all that the poor, the neglected, the ignored, the oppressed can do to survive is to stoke and to harness their anger. My life is good. My life is fabulous. I have so much to be grateful for. I'm blessed. I'm favored. I'm protected. My problems are tiny in comparison to almost all of those around me. God holds me in the palm of His hands, and I must count my blessings every single day. This book gouged my sense of gratitude, my empathy, my humility.